Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya was really trying to be calm, but sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes things were not easily ignored. In this situation, he could not ignore it at all. The way that someone could be so perverted, someone so audacious, and not even taking care of the reaction of the people around him, or respect, or anything. He did not even take care of boundaries. That was who Mineta was. Someone who was disrespectful, with a lot of audacity, and someone who was disgusting all over. So of course when he saw him trying to look up your skirt, he had to react one way or another. And if that meant punching Mineta as hard as he possibly could, then so be it. Mineta screamed in response, of course, alerting you and everyone in the class to what was happening. But Midoriya, the expression on his face was one you've never seen before, and no wonder you were surprised, just as everyone was. You are disgusting, Mineta. You just don't know it. But I'll make sure that I'll never see someone like you again. I've allowed this to go on for far too long, but the way you torment my classmates, and the way you torment YN, you're a horrible being, and you don't deserve to try and be a hero, when so many others are trying their best and are actually being decent human beings. He yelled, and that was that. A lot of the girls were swooning, and so were you. The way Midoriya was talking, and the way it seemed like he's been paying attention to all of your struggles, and he's been the only one to step in. You could say he did it because of you, but he did do something, unlike many of the boys, who only just stood and watched. It was kind of weird and upsetting, and you were glad that he had done something. You couldn't help but blush, but you knew with everyone supporting him, this would be dealt with, sooner or later. Todoroki Shoto. Todoroki did not expect Mineta to have the audacity, and yet, almost every single time, he proves him wrong. After all, if Mineta did not make him miserable, what else would he do? Todoroki was thinking about something, until Mama tapped him on the shoulder to alert him what was happening, and then he saw Mineta peering up at your skirt from below, and immediately had stormed over and tossed him at the wall, freezing him in place. What do you think you're doing here? And Mineta was a stuttering mess, of course unable to respond. Meanwhile, they had not really noticed what was going on, so they wrapped an arm around Todoroki, wanting him to calm down. Hey, Shoto, calm down. What did he do? You say, not really out of care for Mineta because no one liked that guy, but because he did not want Todoroki getting in trouble. He just didn't want Aizawa punishing him or something. But Todoroki seemed to be very determined to finish what he had started, and in that case, he wanted to finish Mineta. Shoto, tell me what happened. He was looking up your skirt, and what I think is that he actually should not be allowed to be here. So, since he's not getting punished by anyone else, it seems I will have to exact justice by myself. Shoto, let's just tell Aizawa-sensei. I'm sure he will deal with it. You tell him. You felt uncomfortable about the entire situation, but you did not want Shoto risking anything for your sake, although you seemed quite insistent on that. It softened your heart. It really did. He kissed your cheek lightly. Don't worry about me, Wayan. Whatever I do, it will be correct to me. I want to do what I believe in. And what I believe in right now is that Mineta must get consequences for his actions. And if no one's going to give him a consequence, then I will. He muttered darkly, and he could only blush at his words. We did leave him to do as he pleased. After all, he couldn't really say no to that. Bakugou Katsuki. Todoroki was merciful considering him, because he was not really calm, and he would be very angry with anyone in the vicinity after this. Which you completely understood. You would not really blame him for anything that he did, because the scene that happened was very, very upsetting. Mineta was trying to peer up your skirt, and Denki had told him not to. Katsuki was in the room, not to mention how immoral that was. And Denki was frankly disgusted. As much as he flirted around and tried to tease the girls, he was not some bastard like that. Mineta, though, he had no thoughts at all. And the only thing that he used to think was his own desire. So when Katsuki saw the scene in front of him, and how innocently unaware you were, he couldn't help but want to tear him to pieces. So when he grabbed Mineta by the head and threw him away into the hallway, exploding him, well, that was one scene to witness. He was passed out from the first explosion, and the entirety of the class stared. Although Mina cheered, you could hear that very clearly. You were very worried. Katsuki, what the hell did you just do? You hurt him. And I would hurt him again. You don't know what he did, Wayan. It's the least he deserves. But now you could get punished for that. I won't. I'll make sure of it. But most importantly, I'm not letting an asshole like that look at you like this. What are you even talking about? Oh, Wayan, Mina said, grabbing you. I'll tell you what happened. He was looking up your skirt. And Katsuki here, well, he was doing his duty as a wonderful boyfriend. Come on, you should thank him. He blushed a little bit, looking away. Well, I can't argue with that then, he said, and Katsuki smirked. He really wanted you to be proud of him. But most importantly, he was glad he was there to protect you. That's what really mattered in the end.